All right. What is up? It is Wednesday night and a little bit late, but it is time for the giveaway show. And hey, I'm excited to be back and to be here. Excited to see you guys starting to join in the chat. So I can't wait for us to get started. And hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back. I'm excited to be here and share with you a couple things I got going on, and I got a special guest with me tonight. He's going to be helping me share about tonight's topic, which is Fan Expo Dallas. That's right. We're going to share a little bit more about it, different perspective, because it's a different person than Monday, but I'm no less excited about it. So I can't wait for us to get started. Just before I bring him on, I'm going to go ahead and let's see shout out because we only got a couple people. Algorithm is getting kicking. What's up, Johnny 5 Live? It's good to see you and our other viewers that are popping in. Make sure and say hey in the chat. We got a little bit later start. I have another guest with me tonight. I am back from sabbatical and excited, very well rested, but a lot going on still. So I can't wait to share with you one of these things. Hey, so here's something. Just as a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet by chance, and you're watching this either right now or on a replay, this book, this stunning example of Something is Killing the Children number 15 in a CGC 9.8 with white pages, signed by cover artist David Sanchez. This is the Virgin variant for that he came up with for this title. This book is our giveaway to celebrate our 850 subscriber milestone. But this is not the only giveaway. So I'm going to be dropping a little entry video for you. You'll be able to enter to win on that video. It's a separate video than this one. I'll try to drop that tonight or first thing in the morning. But that's the video you're going to want to enter on. You'll have until next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. to enter to win. We had 95 entries for the last milestone giveaway, so I'm hoping we can break 100 entries for this one. But the cool thing is when you enter to win, it's not just this book that you have a chance at winning. You're also going to have a chance to win some other books that I'm going to add into the stack, and I'll be revealing those on that night, but it's going to be a lot of fun. May even drop a quick hint ahead of time on Instagram, because I'm also getting up to, I think I'm almost to 3,000 followers there, so we need to do some giveaways to catch up for that over on Instagram. But hey, I'm glad that you guys are here, glad that you guys are joining us. This is the giveaway show, 10 p.m. Central. A few minutes late tonight, but that's all right. So, hey, let me go ahead and introduce who I'm going to have with me tonight hanging out. And I'm looking forward to us being able to share a little bit about Fan Expo. Definitely want to. Hey, what's up, Jason D? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to be back here. But I'm excited to share with you some of the practical stuff. And the person I'm bringing on tonight knows a lot more about that than I do, the practical side of like budgeting and getting ready for a convention like Fan Expo Dallas, where there's a lot of different people. And I'm going to try to get some advice from him, some notes from him on his best practices, and see some of the stuff that maybe he picked up. He wasn't on Monday night, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got to say. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring him on. Here is Mr. Michael Presas.
Hey, I want to see if I got a new mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got a new mic since everybody was telling me was some of the proceeds that I've been accumulating to go buy new material, and I did. I've got a new stand for my monitor, lights up.
Very nice.
Light up microphone and stuff. But yeah, Fan Expo was big this year. It's back. Cons are back. There's another one that's coming up this weekend, Heroes Con, and then next month it's Comic Palooza in Houston, and it's just popping up all over the place now, and lots of good people coming around. And I'll give it back to Carlos.
Yeah. So hey, Michael, now are you going to Heroes Con this year?
I was really, really close to going, and those plane tickets were outrageous. Outrageous scheduling. You fly, you want to get there. You want to leave Thursday to get there Friday. They had planes going from leaving Thursday and touchdown Friday afternoon, and on the way back, the same thing. You leave Monday, but you get back in Houston Tuesday. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So yeah, so the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to see. Oh, hey, look who else decided to jump in here.
Hey, what's up, guys? I just got off of work, so I just saw your message, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll hop on. So what's going on? What's this?
Yeah, so tonight I'm giving a couple more details. I wanted to talk. I think probably the big thing I wanted to do, because this is the biggest learning curve for me for Fan Expo Dallas, and so I wanted to do it. Talk a little bit about tonight, and that was pricing and budgeting, not necessarily for like travel or um, uh, like your incidentals while you're there, like meals and lodging and all that kind of stuff, but the actual pricing for the convention itself and how much you're going to spend, like while you're on a convention. This isn't the how-to video for how to prep for a convention. This is more just kind of us recapping Fan Expo Dallas and kind of our experiences there, and then just how that applies to a broader convention going experience and how that can help. And so for the watchers, for the viewers, these two guys have been to quite a few conventions, and each of them, Michael is starting to get into original art, I think, but he's been in signatures and sketches for a while. Jen is huge on signatures and sketch covers and getting books slabbed. So they know, they've kind of had a lot more experience around the numbers. Yeah, I was messaging Michael to try to find pricing because Fan Expo didn't release the actual pricing for a lot of these guys.
And a lot of them don't. They don't.
Yeah,
They don't. They even if you look up Heroes Con, not to cut you off, but
yeah.
it's, even when you look at Heroes Con, a lot of it says to be declared or to be announced, and they even show a click or a link to the artist, and even they are not telling you how much they're charging.
Right.
There's multiple sites on Facebook that have subgroups. You got your sketch art uh, uh, group, and they have a compiled list, and it's actually a file, and you click on it, and it's alphabetical with the latest. Well, it's really up to the community to update it, and if we don't tell them, it will not get updated. And some of it will say 2019 pricing in MegaCon was such and such price. Well, a couple of years later, it might not be the same price anymore, and you see that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them will say, if they do sketches, are they approachable for sketching? Do they do sketches at cons? A lot of it will, some of it will say yes, and some of it will say no. And they'll even tell you, well, they'll have a link to reach out to them if you want one done, or to ask them, hey, I would like to be put on the list. Because a lot of times they'll even send out a link. Hey, I got a commission open. It's for 10, and you gotta be up on top of it. You gotta get notified. You got to know if you're looking for a certain person. Once they announce something, they will announce it, and if you're not following them or anything, you won't get told.
Hmm.
Okay,
Well,
well,
that's a good.
if you're talking about budgeting, I that's what I was doing right now while you guys were talking. I was just writing
Yeah.
down the way I budget things when I'm getting ready for a con. So if I know definitely for a fact that I'm going to be going to um, a Fan Expo or a MegaCon or Emerald City or I don't know a celebrity fan fest. They're just some of the cons that are just going off the top of my head. Let me fix the light a little bit. Okay, so if I'm budgeting for a con, first what I do is I make a list of who I want to make a priority that I'm going to go see. So that's the first thing that I do. Then I also and this is outside of the budget of, well, am I going to go with an Airbnb or am I going to go for a hotel? And also, who's going to come with me? Now, I just wrote this down. This is just a rough draft, but I'm very well prepared. Like this year, I think I was more well prepared than I've ever been for any con. I'm not going to be eating no ramen noodles because I ended up overspending, for getting signatures and getting CGC and so forth. Especially with the gas prices, you're gonna have to budget correctly. So I wrote down 775 to 900. Now this is that right there. I wrote down for 4 days. Now that's 4 nights, 3 days, and we're talking about either an Airbnb or a hotel. Now, if you go with
wait, hang on. Do you mean 4 days and 3 nights?
Yeah, 4 days and 3
Yeah,
nights.
yeah.
4 days. I'm sorry, 4 days and 3 nights. So what I do with that is that if I'm going to get there, I try to get there a day early, and I also look at traffic because I don't want to be stuck in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Me being stuck in traffic is hours of my life that I could be using for something else. So I don't like being stuck in traffic. If I'm going to prep, I don't care about the air temperature. We have an air conditioner in our car. I look at all these things. I've gone to cons so many times now that if you're going to go, you should go really early. You shouldn't go later on during the day. Now, if something happens along the way, shit happened, sure, whatever. But you want to try to get your day started as early as possible. Now, some people have different priorities. Some people want to go after 5, after 6, and that's totally fine. If you want to beat the rush hour traffic by the time you get there, cool. But me, I like to be prepped. I like to get there at least an hour, a day early, so that I know that I'm going to be, hey, this is what I'm going to do with this person. This is what I'm going to do with this person. This is what I'm going to do here. Friday, I'm going to do this. Saturday, I'm going to do this. And Sunday, I'm going to do this. So I have everything outlined. I have everything prepped. I have it in different folders. That's how I do it. But that's how I've always done things when I've gone to these conventions. Now, if you're going to go with someone, you have to ask what their budget is. Because if they're not going to spend more than $330 amounts of dollars in a room a weekend, then you're gonna have to follow a certain budget, because you want to be fair with yourself and also with the other person. So, like for example, this year, Tristan and I ended up getting an Airbnb, and it cost us like $700 and something dollars. I ended up sending him $360, and he took that money and added it on. And then he bought the Airbnb. And the Michael and his brother ended up, taking care of the transportation for car. So they took care of like the car, the gas, and all. And if you look at that, it all adds up. A gas price on the truck.
Yeah, man, the gas price is like.
Again, if you go by yourself, you're gonna end up spending a little bit more money, which is why I said 900. I said 775 to 900. That's just travel. I'm saying under 1,000, and with inflation, it's going to keep going up. So that's how I budget. I think in the back of my head, like, hey, look, I'm going to take out $1,000 as I get closer, and I'm going to put myself on a budget because I already know there's food that's also an accountable to where you're, if you're going to go out and eat, you have to take a budget out for that too. So, and that's not even included in here. What kind of food are you going to eat? Are you a health freak? Because, healthy food costs more money. Are you just going to eat like fast food? Because fast food costs money too. But anyways,
on that doctor bill.
Yeah, definitely. And then I wrote down 149 to 300. The only reason I wrote that down is because a 149 was like the package that they gave this year, like the Art Germ blind bag that they gave this year. You get a comic book, and then people are like, oh, you get this Art Germ sketch cover comic book. You can get it for 149. But then, you know, Michael and I talked about this earlier. You know, this is like around the time we were getting ready for the con. He's like, hey, did you know that they have a $300 VIP pass that gives you the same comic? And they're not even separated. They didn't even separate the sketches and your higher chance of winning the sketch for the VIP. They just bundled them all together. So the person that's buying the $149 package doesn't really need to buy the VIP package if he has the same odd chance of getting the same sketch. And, you know, me and Michael talked about that. And I was like, yeah, you know, and then, so again, I wrote down 149 to 300, and that was for a 3-day pass. That's what I wrote down, 3 days. Then, you know, I wrote down 2,000 to 4,000 for art. Now, when I say art, I don't just mean art as in original art, sketch. I just put down art next to it as an entertainment, you know, and that sometimes varies. Sometimes, you know, I ended up spending close to about $4,500 this con. You got your grading fees. CGC, I ended up spending $850 with them. Like around 8 something. It was like 815. I'm sorry, 815 with them. It was either 815 or 820. I can't remember if you added tax to that. I paid with card on that one. No, it was 850 because I checked my card today, so it said 850 on there. So 850 for that. Then we have so that was 850. Now I also submitted some books through CBCS, and you know I have an account with them. That cost me $1,000. I submitted 33 books through them.
Holy moly!
So I
33 books.
33 books through them, and then I submitted 12 books through CGC. So and then now we're not counting the amount of signatures that I got and how much I paid for those.
Wait, so that's not included?
That's not included with the signatures and all that. These are just grading fees. Oh, you're great. You're sending this off. Okay, so this book costs this much. This book costs this much. This book costs this much. So, yeah, Flynn Games. Yeah, you can submit it at the con. I'm sorry, you can submit it at a con. You can. So what I did is you have your witnesses. Now I do witness for CBCS. I don't witness for CGC. I'm trying to do that with a buddy of mine that actually does his own facilitation for CGC. But he told me that it's very political and there's a whole process. There's even a test behind it or something. Now, I don't know how much of that is true, but I take his word for it because he's been doing this for a very long time. Now, with what he said that, you know, with the prices, they're going to vary per book. So you have tiers, right? And you have Fast Pass. Now, I don't care about Fast Pass, guys. Whenever I submit a book in, some people will add the Fast Pass to your package deal. So it'll be a little bit more expensive. Now, this guy was doing it for all the books. He's doing Fast Pass regardless. So whether you pay for it or not, he's going to submit it as Fast Pass. Now, CBCS, they're the same way. They'll ask you if you want a Fast Pass, but knowing how these grading companies are so backed up with graders, I don't care for a Fast Pass. I can wait until October or November, whenever my books are going to come back. Now, what I'm more worried about is the way my books are handled and who's witnessing my books. Because I want everything to be timed, and I don't want people to take up my time that I could be using to get a sketch or to get a celebrity in a video that I want them to be on for other reasons. So again, I ended up spending close to $4,500. It was either give or take somewhere around there, and this is with art. This is with signatures. This is with grading fees. This is just everything, and this is not including the Airbnb, the truck, you know, because I didn't pay for the truck, you know, or the other stuff. I'm saying outside of that. So I ended up spending close to $4,500, and then if you subtract 850 from 45 and 1,000 from 45, then you're looking roughly around 25, maybe like around 2,500 or something for like art signatures, so forth. So I mean, it's not that the con is expensive. It's that you have to budget yourself correctly because it all adds up. $100 bill will add up. You know, Gina Carano is $100. I got 3 signatures from her. Like, really think about that. I got a sketch priority that I got through Jamie Tinodol, right? Tyndall. I say Tyndall, but I know MT always corrects me. But I got a sketch by him. He, depending on what kind of sketch you want from him, it's going to be anywhere between 150 to 300. So again, you're adding on to your budget. I always say budget like 4 or 5 months out. Write down what you're going to do on Friday. If on Friday I'm going to see Gina Carano and celebrities, then see Gina Carano and only celebrities. You know, I saw Gina Carano, Chris Sabat, and the voice of Halo, a Master Chief, Steve Young. I saw him, so I saw 3 people, and then I went, after I saw them, I went then to the artists, and I told them, look, I want to pay you now for something you can either take home and bring back either Saturday or Sunday. And if you can't bring it back Saturday or Sunday, can you hold it until the next time I see you? And that's how I did it with that. So Michael's pretty good at doing that too. I mean, especially when it comes to priority sketches that he wants to submit, he'll communicate with them and he'll tell them like, hey, can you hold this until maybe another time? And then if he has, more money that he wants to add to the sketch, it'll be a more detailed sketch. And sometimes
I'm gonna jump in real quick, Jen, just to say a couple of quick things to the chat, and then I've also got a couple of messages and comments coming on via Instagram as well, via the Instagram. So real quick, guys, let's see. I
agree with Comic Tracks, by the way.
Yeah. Comic Tracks, I like the numbers he's putting down.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing I would point out, like for Omar S., to me, it depends on who is coming to the convention. Like a big convention like NYCC, I could definitely see spending that much. But if enough of the stars line up that I'm looking for, like for me, a big deal for this, there was 3 major people that lined up all at the same convention that I'd never been to a convention where it just lined up really well. It was Jim Lee, Carl Potts, who was the writer on Punisher War Journal, and then the Miranda brothers, because my son loves them, and he had a whole run of We Live that he wanted to get signed. So when all right, somebody's going to have to get banned from the chat. All right.
What's up, Paul? How you doing, buddy?
I don't know. He took the night off tonight. I think he was tired from the past month and a half. But yeah, so for me, it was just like, it depends on the convention. So I can definitely see, like, if there's enough people that you were looking for, of course you don't. But
Omar, I understand what you're...
I can go into more detail with stuff like that too, because this is what I do too. Is
so real quick. Hey, okay, yeah, go ahead, Michael.
What I do is I make a list of all the artists.
Yeah.
Make multiple pages, and sometimes I'll even put the books that I know that I have that they worked on, and I look for that while I'm digging through my boxes. So,
right.
So what you can do is make a list of who's going to be there, so you can and just keep checking every once in a while, because they do cancel and they do add people. So that's what I do, is make a list of the artists, You can even do one with artists that all the artists that's going to be there, just in case you run into a book that you didn't know you had or didn't know that they worked on. Because I always use comic bind. You put the person's name and all their bodies of work shows up, and you just go and search and search and search.
Mhm.
And if you know it's a collection you have, you click like Avengers. You click on it, it shows all the issues that that person worked on specifically. And you can do that with hey, I do remember that book. It shows the cover. I do remember that book. It even shows the variant. So if you got the variant, hey, I do have that variant. I just saw it just here a minute ago. If they cancel, you put it away. You bring it with you, and because even with what Jen's saying, that's still it's still you got impulsive buying. You got all of a sudden they're selling a book and he's agreeing to sign it for free if you buy his book at his table. So you got a lot of things that goes on that can go out the window.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to add on to what Michael is saying and Omar, and also um, everyone else that goes to comic conventions and so forth. Carlos has this beautiful channel. So again, guys, if you haven't subscribed to him, hit the subscribe button and then give him some likes. All right. Okay, back to what we were saying. If you end up going to a bigger con, Omar S, you're gonna also have to deal with the tax too. You also have to deal with higher prices too. So a signature that costs me practically what, 25, $30 may not be the same price when it gets down to New York Comic Con. Sketches may be different too. So also, you're talking about celebrities. Gina Carano is not going to New York Comic Con. She's not going to get a vaccine so she can go to NYCC. And then they're like, oh, all I'm saying, I know, I get what you're saying. But the price that you're talking about original art. Not everybody buys original art. Everyone has different priorities. Okay, so you also have to look and count of that. Like I end up spending money on celebrities, artists, original art, and I end up spending money on sketches, and mostly sketches. But all of my stuff goes into grading. Like I just told you that I spent $2,000, close to $2,000 in grading. I submitted 33 books. Like that should already like tell you something of where my mindset is about what I want to do with these books later on down the road. Only maybe 10 or 12 of these books are going to be part of my PC. So again, not everything is about bigger cons, because some celebrities won't go to a certain con because of contracts. Like, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Donnie Cates is an example. I talked to Donnie Cates' handler over at Comic Sketch. I think that's what their company is called, Comic Sketch or something. When they were at Comic Palooza, I asked them, I said, look, Fan Expo moved their con to September, October last year. And I told them, I was like, so he's on their website, because they were just saying that, oh yeah, he's not doing any more cons this year. So I'm like thinking, is he going to cancel Texas Fan Expo? Like, is he going to cancel the Dallas? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm talking about Fan Expo Dallas. He's on the website.
Yeah,
right?
that's
on there.
Then you got the info from me, and you went and confronted them. That's why I said you have to check the website periodically.
No. You're not understanding what I'm saying. This is while I was at Comic Palooza. Yes, I talked to his handler
on the website.
So I asked the handler.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump in real quick here. Hey, let's hit pause on that. Couple of things real quick to do. Just a reminder for those who are joining us. We do have our 800. We're going to be celebrating our 850 subscriber giveaway. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do it and hit the notification bell so you can win this. Have a chance to win this among other prizes, next Wednesday night. We'll be celebrating our 850 milestone, and we're going to be doing the big push to 1,000 subscribers. I believe that we can break 1,000 subscribers by the end of August, but we got to get 120 more people because we're already at 180. Also, 880. For those who are wondering if there is a Paul Comics exclusive pass to any of these conventions, there just might be. Do you remember those little Gold Sea coupon books you used to sell for fundraising when you were a kid? Well, Paul made one of those with crayon and construction paper, and it is fantastic. It gives you all kinds of great deals. Almost all of them are for strictly comic services, but I think it works out quite well. Another quick thing, hey, it's the giveaway show, so I haven't even told y'all about tonight's giveaways. I don't know if you're aware, but Primos number 4 hit the stands today. If you haven't picked it up, it's a 4-part series that is about some Hispanic superheroes that I found original and just really cool. So I really enjoyed it. The art by Carlo Barberi is great. Al Madrigal did a fantastic job with writing. He was one of the correspondents from The Daily Show. He's a comedian. He also appeared in the Morbius movie. So he's getting into geekdom, and I just love what he did with this series. So if you haven't picked it up, make sure and check it out. This was the fourth issue came out today, and I put a big spread from it on my Instagram. But then the trade paperback will be out in about a month, and that should be in just enough time to make that a prize for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. But tonight, what we're going to do, there was this very special edition of Primos number 1 that was released on this year's Free Comic Book Day. I happen to have 2 copies of it with me, courtesy of our friends over at the Comic Vault. Now, the neat thing about this is that it's not just a typical reprint like most Free Comic Book Day issues. This is actually both the English and the Spanish version because it was published in both languages. So I'm going to be giving away 2 of these in near mint condition tonight to 2 different winners. And since we're in the middle of the discussion right now and we paused it, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to put a starting line. And if you want a chance to win one of these 2 books that I've got here, I want you to go ahead and just write the word in, I-N, before I drop an end line. I've got a starting line on there. I'm going to let it go for a minute or 2. I'm going to let Jen go back to what he was talking about. Let him and Michael continue the discussion. But just as a reminder, these are the 2 books that we're giving away tonight. This is a special edition. It includes both versions. So this is a separate printing. So for collectability's sake, you definitely want to have this. If you didn't get a hold of it at this year's Free Comic Book Day. I know not all retailers ordered this one, but Comic Vault was fortunate enough. They gave us a very small stack of them. So I'm going to be giving them away to help promote Primos because I really believe in the book. I just really like it. I thought it's really well done. Some Hispanic superhero stories, it kind of feels like, they're kind of pandering a little bit, but this one didn't. I just like what they did with space Mayans and modern day teen superheroes, and it's just a really neat mix. So, and he did a good job of telling a story in 4 issues only, because that's a big deal. So I see the ends coming in. Michael and Jen, I'm gonna let you guys talk for a couple more minutes while I enter all these folks in, and then we'll do our first giveaway.
Okay, so going back to what Michael and I were talking about. So yeah, Michael and I have had that discussion about certain artists where they can and cannot go depending on whichever contracts they have with cons. But what I'm talking about is when I was at Comic Palooza, I talked to the handler and I told her, I said, so if I want to submit these, books that I'm getting signed later on down the road to, like, let's say Dallas Fan Expo Dallas, could I do that next month? She's like, what are you talking about? And I go, well, he's supposed to be there next month. And I go, and she's like, no, he's not. And I go, so we had a friend named Sam with us. So he goes, look, he's on the website. And then she's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I guess, we're going to have to either take him off or we're going to have to renegotiate his contract, or I don't know, because only, I think you said Comic Sketch Art comic sketch art has contracts with certain certain comic conventions. So his contract says that if he's going to be at Dallas, Fan Expo Dallas, that does not mean that he's going to be in Comic Palooza, because Houston and Dallas are competitors. They're competing against each other. But he so happened to be at both places. Even Michael and I were talking about this after the con. Donnie Cates and you said that Ryan Stegman didn't cancel. He's still there, right?
No, he
Michael? Huh?
He canceled.
So if both of them canceled, there might be an opportunity for them to show up at Comic Palooza last minute. But we don't know that. All I'm saying is that just because you say it's a bigger con doesn't mean it's going to have the same guests. Art Germ is not going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I don't think so. From reading his feeds and what other people were asking him, he may actually switch it up and go somewhere else. Just because it's a bigger con doesn't mean it's going to have quality artists. I mean, North Carolina Comic-Con, Heroes Con is this weekend, and they have 150 artists. But how much of a budget do you have for 150 people? I mean, I'm trying to get you to understand budgeting. The whole point of this show was budgeting. It wasn't about comic book artists and who.
Well, tonight, yeah, we were going to hit budgeting, but it's also about the experience, because I wanted to hear Michael's thoughts on the convention as a whole. Hey, let me bring this in here, and then Michael, we're going to come back to you in a second. So I've got it lined up. I've got all our entry. Oh, Spider Girl. Okay, tell you what, Spider Girl, I'll go ahead. It's after the end line, but I'll go ahead and squeeze you in. And let's see. Where is she? Good to have you with us, as always. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. Set. And then let me go ahead and share the screen. Hey, guys. Hey, what's up, Tate Prime? It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm very excited. It's not input. I thought, no, the unleashing of Paul, that the conclusion of the Paul takeover saga was last weekend. So, or was last Wednesday night. So Paul has taken the night off, much deserved. Hey, listen, I give Paul a hard time, but let me just say a huge public thank you to him and to MT for holding it down while I was out. These guys had nothing to gain by it, but they were willing to take it over just as an act of kindness and run the show, keep the shows going during my absence. So huge thing for those guys to do. Very appreciative of them doing that for me, and they're each gonna. I'm working on a little gift for each of them.
I read comics. Yes, I do believe that.
Too, that we're going to hear when we come back after the giveaway. Let's see. Stop in to show love. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Tate, we're glad that you stopped in, buddy. All right. I'll let you know if you win tonight. All right, guys. Hey, let's go ahead and get this monster race going. All right. Here we go. I'm going to shuffle the characters 3, 2, and 1, and there we go. Remember, this is for a copy of the Free Comic Book Day Primos that includes both the English and Spanish versions of Primos number 1. Near mint copies. Yeah, Paul has always got a plan going. I read comics always. Yeah, Jason D. Those guys did fantastic. They did fantastic. I was very pleased with them. I'm very excited to see them, and but I definitely understand both of them being worn out after that, because that was a good long run. It's a lot to do these shows. So, all right. Looks like Stephen Hull is going to be the winner. Congratulations, Stephen Hull. Hey, this is your copy of Primos number 1. This is the Free Comic Book Day version that reprints both the Spanish and English. But guess what? It's not the only one. Towards the end of the show, we're going to be giving away the second copy. So, Stephen Hall, make sure to message me on Instagram at Carlos Collects Comics, or you can email me at carloscollectscomics@gmail.com. Either way is fine to get in touch with me, but get me your shipping information. I'm a little backed up on shipping, having just gotten back into town, but I'm gonna be working over the next month or the next 2 weeks before I go out of town again for a week. I'm going to be working on getting some of these books shipped out. But congrats, Stephen Hall. All right, Michael, share with us. Let's jump back to the budget, some of the budgeting stuff that you had, the prep that you, or actually just some of your initial thoughts, because we never got like a full set of your initial thoughts about Fan Expo Dallas and some of the stuff that you experienced there.
Well, like Jim Lee, he was only going to be there one day, so you were more than likely. If you didn't buy the ticket, 99% chance you weren't going to see him. He won't make his table. Even though I saw Instagram pictures where he made it to the floor, I don't know when that happened, but he probably popped in to greet his Asian community, because that's what I think. Because that's who he posted with was with Alan Quall. So I think that's what he might have done and went back to his little hole or whatever. But there was a representative there that was selling Jim Lee CGG slab sketches, signed books with the remarks. There was one that was relatively cheap. It was a 9.8 for, I want to say, 350 to 400. That's pretty damn cheap. He had brought some original pages, which my brother bought one, and it's signed by Jim Lee. And even the handler will sit there and say, "Hey, it's a page, and it's already signed by Jim Lee," and he got it for 350. It was a page that he wasn't familiar with, but you can tell it's Jim Lee 100% all the way. And the guy is legit. He's always there with pages, and he even had preliminaries. He was selling a 12-page preliminaries pencils for $1,200. And
Wow.
that's another thing that's coming up. Preliminaries is another cheaper route of getting original art, but it does end up being used in a comic or storyboard or whatever. And it was labeled that it did get made to production. And that's another thing. And then another thing to keep an eye out for is colorists. Colorists will sell pages of colored what the guidelines are for them to do an original artwork. It's not original art, but it is the color guidebook that they color. It's a scanned page with markings and instructions on the side, and it's not even a full square page. It might have little cuts, little ripples on the sides and edges. That's something that I might want to be getting into also. Their colorist, but it's from the actual artist, and it's something that's very interesting. And right now, it's relatively cheap because not a lot of people are looking into that. And what you can do is buy them, and you can submit them to CGC for $25, and they'll put a label, they'll put the name. It'll come back a yellow label, and it'll come back with a bio. And right now, that's what me and my brother are doing. We're submitting the actual pages and encapsulating them, and it's going to have a yellow label with the artist's name, the book that it's from, maybe a little bio, what the artist is mainly known or famous for, and you get it. You can hang them up any way you want. You can frame them. It's very, very cheap to submit, and it doesn't come back. You can't grade them. They don't come back graded. They don't put a number, and you
Yeah,
can
it just has a serial code on it. It's a serial code for their records.
and you can if you want, you can even cut it up because it's $25. You can cut it up and resubmit again, or you can do all kinds of stuff with it. And that's just something that I've been slowly getting into. But my brother, he's more into it, and he can tell you exactly the three things that he looks for when it comes to original art. Yeah, Jason D. I mean, my brother, he snapped. We saw it. We both saw it. We took a walk around. We came back. It was still there. He said, "Dude, I'm doing it." And he was lucky. He said he was even lucky. He said, "Look, I'm lucky that I got it. That it was still there." And Jason D, yeah, that was me at the J Lee table during the. That was pretty cool.
Wait,
So what,
Jason D, were you there at the convention?
there's people that were there, like I think Southern Comic Geek that I was looking for y'all.
Yeah, I never saw him. I knew he was going to be there. I knew he and I think he and Shelby's Comics. Shout out to them. Each of them have cool channels, but I think both of them were going to be there because they did a preview show. But I'm not sure what. But I just didn't see them, and
Yeah.
I had the boys with me, so it was I was trying to keep up with them and make sure they were having a good time with it. I was going to show this real quick because both of you guys showed like we're talking about checklists, and that got me thinking. So I use an app called Evernote, and it's
Yeah, I've heard of it.
a live stream on Sunday, and there was Michael. All right, so yeah, so look, check it out. So I just made this little like a checklist, and I put like which books I was going to pull, and then I put the pricing as I learned it. Oh, whoops, I'm about to delete all of it. And I did want to share pricing because I'm sure there's some people that were interested in getting pricing and what the pricing was like. And I'm going to let Jen and Michael fill it in. So Jim Lee, you could buy the Jim Lee experience. It was $99, 3 signatures on ungraded items. And then you got a really nice art print that I have down here that was also hand signed by Jim Lee ahead of time. So you got 3 things plus that nice art print. Tony Daniel was going to have been, well, he didn't show up, so it's not confirmed, but it was Michael had said it was $10 ungraded.
And then $20 with graded.
Graded, yeah.
Matina
Humberto
was
Ramos.
$25 graded also.
Who?
Matina was $25 for anything that you wanted graded.
Okay, yeah. Then let's see. Humberto Ramos, I had down $10 ungraded, $20 graded.
Mm-hmm.
So the Miranda brothers who did We Live, and they did a really good job on these signatures. They did them in Sharpie and then did white paint marker over it, so they look kind of like an outline thing. But so the Miranda brothers, they were actually $5 each, so it was only $10 for both of them to sign a book. But the first 3 signatures for each of them were free. So that was by far, I thought, one of the best deals, especially given how popular the show has gotten. And now their little head sketches and remarks and graded books were more, but that was that was what theirs were. Carl Potts, who was the writer for Punisher War Journal, and he's one of the ones I got to sign some of my books. His was $10 for the first. Let's see, so I had him sign these Punisher War Journals, and so his was $10 for. Okay, if it was not dedicated to somebody, it was $10 for the first one and $30 each one after. So that ended up being he was more expensive than I expected, but it was worth it. Let's see. Tone Rodriguez, I didn't make it by his booth. Freddie Williams II always had somebody at his booth. Michael Golden was $20 each ungraded, and so I had like a run of like a dozen Nightwing books, and I just couldn't afford that. Dennis Culver was never at his table. He did Justice League Incarnate, and I had a run of the 5-issue limited series, and I was like, I wanted to have him sign it because I thought it was a cool series, but he was never at his table until like the last part of the last day, and I didn't have his books with me, and we'd already checked out of the hotel, and I couldn't do it. Tyler Kirkham was $20. I think his prices have stayed pretty steady. It was $20 each or 3 for $50. And but I didn't end up getting anything signed by him because I had my Blue Beetle books, but I didn't get those signed because he was busy or not feeling up to signing. So, but that's whatever. So, But yeah, so and Phil Jimenez, I didn't see any pricing for him because I think Southern Comic Geek asked about that. Paul, quit lying to people. No, Weiwei's, he was not fired. He told me that he didn't feel like coming on the show tonight because he wanted to take a break. So that's where he is right now. And then he decided to come on and start trolling. But no, Paul is always on. Paul had the link. He just opted not to be on tonight because he just wanted to go kick his feet up and relax. All right, so guys, do y'all have any other numbers that you wanted to throw out? Yeah, because you were, what was it you were saying, Jen?
About
it was
what?
20. It was 25 for.
Yeah, well, I mean, every artist I think they're gonna change it up next year. Especially, I think Matina gave me a remark on my Batman 1989 book with the
Yeah,
Michael Keaton homage.
yeah,
He drew a little Batman there. He gave Michael one. He gave Tristan one. He gave his brother one. And I'm sure it's next year, wherever he goes, or maybe even the next con, he's probably going to be like, hey, you know what? These guys want remarks, and they may try to flip these remarks. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make my remarks $100 on the cover, and it'll be the same old remark. And I've seen it happen before. Brent Peoples, he's a really good example. I really like Brent Peoples. He's a great guy, good person, good artist, good person, good guy, good friend. He went from $40 sketches, like the ones that I sold on the auctions, went from $40, and those same sketches are now $100. Just a little tiny bust, or with detailed or whatever, semi-detailed on a blank sketch is close to $80 to $100 depending on what you want. So yeah, every year they're gonna switch it up. So even though you think you're prepared, you're always going to either run into something that you didn't expect being there, like here I'll show you something that I'm talking about, like a book like this.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
you're not going to expect this to be there, and it's a very fine copy, and somebody might be selling it for $100, and that's $100 that goes out of your pocket. You know, it's a very fine,
Yeah.
but hey, $100, right? People will
Mm-hmm.
negotiate prices, and then you there might be a toy, right? Yeah, someone Jason D saw me playing with this. You know, Vegeta's my favorite character. You'll buy a toy. Um, I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that you'll see at a comic convention, and again, it will pile up. Like this right here. Again, this is a present. I love Street Sharks. All right, but I ended up buying this also. There's a lot of things that are very nostalgic to me. So if I go out of my way and I see something that I don't know it's going to be harder for me to find, I will buy it. And I think that takes out of whatever I originally had planned in my budget. So you can prep as much as you want. The point is to prep enough to get the things that you want done. So if you had like 10 Jim Lee signatures that you wanted done, and now you've bought this amazing toy or this amazing comic, you're not going to get the 10 done now. You're probably going to get 8 done or 7 done. But there's nothing wrong with that. Going to a con, your ideology shouldn't be to go make extra money. It should be there to have a good time and spend time with people that got you into sticking with comics. You don't go to Jim Lee's table to flip 30 books that he will hopefully sign. You go there to shake the man's hand because that might be the last time you shook his hand. Like for me, when I fist pumped Stan Lee, that was the last time I met Stan Lee. 8-9 months later, he died. The same thing that goes for Herb Trimp. And also Lin Win. When I met them, they were down here at Amazing Comic Con. Um, got to get them to sign my Wolverine comic books, and 2 years later, they passed away. So again, the whole point, guys, is to enjoy the moment while it's there. Budget correctly, have fun, and make sure you don't end up eating ramen noodles by the end of your trip, because you want to make sure that you budget correctly, so you're safe space for at least the next week and a half until your paycheck comes. Okay, those that are still living paycheck to paycheck. If not, you need to switch it up a little bit and maybe find another source of income. Like, some people have the auctions, some people flip books, some people have two jobs. Point is, just budget correctly, have fun, have a good time when you go to these places.
Hey, so tell you what, Michael, we haven't gotten to see what you picked up this weekend.
Well, I got this Jimmy Tyndall book right here.
Oh wow,
it's a beautiful book.
I went ahead and got this signed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And then I got like
Tyler Kirkham.
Oh wow.
Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm slowly putting pictures up, but
you got one.
I'll be putting up. Yeah, I'll be putting.
Yeah, I picked one up too. So glad I snagged it. So
this is the first year. Well, last year was on the Dallas Fan Expo exclusive table. This is the first year that books were selling very, very quickly. There were some that were sold out within the first hour.
Mm-hmm. There were some this year too.
I haven't seen. That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
That's and this is the first year I've ever seen that happen before. Last year it took like the whole weekend for them to sell out. They were selling out really quickly this year, and by the third day, they had like maybe a fifth of what they started out with. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a new trend that's starting to happen, but they're selling out. They're selling a lot of their merchandise out. Some the first day, some the second day, and definitely by the third day. And this is something that I haven't seen at all before.
Mm-hmm.
Last year they did, but it was nothing compared to this year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I did see the first or the first table I got to. It had a pretty low stack of some of the exclusives already, and that was on Friday night. Like that was towards the end of the convention. Well, hey, check it out. It is time to go ahead and, like we just gave away about 20 minutes ago, this copy, or the first copy of Primos #1. For those who are just joining us, this is the giveaway show. Streams every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Central until 11 p.m. Central. So we're coming up on the end of the show. But this is Primos #1. This is our second giveaway. It's the Free Comic Book Day edition that includes both the English and Spanish versions of issue #1. There was a Spanish version of issue #1 that was released. I don't have a copy of it yet, but this is the second giveaway, so we're going to go ahead and run that. I'm going to drop a starting line down in honor of Paul, because Paul doesn't like quiz questions where he has to think or work or give effort. He likes to just give things away. So here's the starting line for it. Make sure and drop in if you didn't get a chance to win the first time. All you have to do is type IN, and I will enter you into this race. Let's see. So I'm going to get this started up here. And then, so going back to the conversation, let's see. So do either of you, what was your favorite interaction with a person, either comic creator, celebrity, whatever, favorite interaction of the convention? Michael, you go first.
I like that I got a chance to see Comic Tom, talk to him, shook hands with them. Uh, he was at multiple tables, and I was there with them and helping them out with selling the J Lee. That's where they were seeing me Sunday, trying to help Jay Lee sell his stuff. And Glenn Fabry, he had a lot to say, a lot to talk about because he's also with that community with Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. When Steve Dillon passed away, he was his friend also, and they had already told me, like John McCrae had already told me about him beforehand, and when he did pass away, I heard from other like Simon Beasley. He told me, he drinks a lot. And Glenn Fabry, he was telling me, more about it. And like, yeah, the dude drank a lot. So it was interesting hearing stuff that they all know each other, and me getting to be a part of that in a small community or their friendship. They told me a little bit about them, good or bad. You hear the good things, you hear the bad things. Alejandro Garza, been knowing him for a long, long time, and seeing him again, and just knowing that he's got a new kid. I've seen he's had kids, and they've grown up on video and stuff like that. And sometimes they bring them, and you see them. They're 8 years old one day, 13 the next time you see them. So I talked to them too about the personal life and stuff like that. So him and I think Martina, real big language barrier. Even with knowing Spanish, it's still a big language barrier because the words still just don't translate. And Alan Quall, seeing him again, talking to him a little bit, and Cal New for the first time. That was real good. I got a sketch from him and a remark. So that was still like real good. And just stuff like that. I really don't go too much into the celebrities. That's something that's not my forte. But I helped out some friends with getting the signatures from voice actors, and that's a trip right there because they're separated. You got to go through this whole other section that's not with the comics. And if you think you're going to go from one place to another, you're not. You're going to spend 4 hours in one spot thinking that you got to shoot back on the other side, and it's 4 hours later.
Hmm.
So it's real easy to lose track of time too.
Yeah. Hey, quick shout out to General Jedi. It's good to have you with us tonight. Hello there. And then Harm's Way Chad, good to see you, buddy. Same for, let's see who else popped in up here. Yeah. Okay, we got everybody. Hey, so if you want to be entered to win this second copy of Primos #1, this is again the free comic book day edition, but it does include both the English and Spanish versions. There was a Spanish print run done. I don't have a copy of it yet, but I was excited to see that they did this bilingual edition. So if you want to get in on, get a chance to win that, make sure and drop the word in. Oh, Wayways. What's up, Wayways? I'm sorry I didn't give you a shout out. It's good to see you also. So everybody else, hey, if you haven't dropped in yet, I see a few of you in the chat that might not have done it yet. Drop the word in. Okay, Harm's Way Chad's going to jump in. And then, hey, good deal, General Jed. I'm glad you got them. Glad you like them. Yes, they are. That was a very nice set. I will never own a set that nice of those books. So yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying them. Looking forward to you getting them all on display and seeing how that looks. All right, Aowolf, I've already got you. It's good to see you, Aowolf. Glad that you could join us. And I've got you down. Also, let's see, General Jedi got you. Of course, we have Paul because tonight. No matter what he says in the chat, Paul was not fired. He's still permanently on the giveaway show. He just wanted to take the night off because he did a fantastic job filling in for me for the past month and a half. And so I'm very appreciative to him, even though he's been popping up in the chat and trying to cause trouble.
He's getting his shoulders rubbed,
Probably.
carrying the show.
So let's see, gonna do pre-screen, I think, see if I can get them all. Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, a pre-screen will do it.
Actually, you know what? That would be something really fun to do. Like, you should actually do that on your channel, and you would probably have to use a specific type of camera, but maybe get Paul, get Edwin, and like sit there and say, oh yeah, I think this comic is coming back in 9/8, and then write down on a sheet of paper this Venom #1 or whatever was going to come back in 9/8. And then see if they actually do come back and replay this video and say, oh, how many did he get right? So I think that would be pretty fun to do.
So I did that with a shipment. Some of them were crazy off, but some of them were right on. Here's the thing. So I went in with 2 other people who shall remain nameless at this time. But I went in with a group of people, or with 2 other people, and we did a 25 book submission for pre-screen for 9.8. So for that, I'm definitely going to do an unboxing. I'm going to see if I can get both of them on to do an unboxing and see how many of us hit 9/8. I think I had 7 or 8 books included in that lot.
Well, Comic Tracks, you're amazing.
That's what I'm talking about, Comic Tracks. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, Comic Tracks is fantastic. I didn't want to put you out there, Comic Tracks, unless...
Well, you need to put him out there.
No. I don't mean that. I recommend him all the time, but I meant I didn't want to commit him to doing an unboxing video before we talked about it in depth. So, so Tracks, But that's the one I was talking about. I think I had 7 or 8 in that shipment, and looking forward to it. So hey guys, thank y'all so much. Let's go ahead and let's run this second race, and then we're gonna bring it into
but before you do this race, you got to tell us who your favorite experience was.
Oh man, hands down.
We haven't even finished the favorite experiences yet.
Okay. So I mean, hands down, Jim Lee was at the top of my list. It was so crowded though that we really didn't get much interaction at all. But props to Fan Expo Dallas for how smoothly they did it. I heard that they massively oversold the number of tickets to the Jim Lee experience. But that being said, like, they had these big art boards, many tables set out for us to be able to unbag and get our books ready. We laid it down. I laid my books down and had him sign them. As I've shared before, the neatest one was this copy of this hardcover of Batman Hush unwrapped. So I had him sign it for me. This is what this is. For those who don't know, this is all the line work, the artwork from Jim Lee with no colors. From Batman Hush. So it's the entire Hush series. And then this is, let's see. Yeah, and then he signed this for me. So this was one of the 6 things that I had him sign. So I was very excited about that. So Jim Lee, the person I had the most fun talking to for me was Carl Potts. Carl Potts was he was the writer for Punisher War Journal. Really solid guy. I had him sign a few books. So now I have the first meeting of Punisher and Wolverine signed by both Jim Lee and Carl Potts, the writer and the artist for both books. And then Carl Potts, he inscribed the collected edition of that same book. And then he also inscribed this other collected edition from the same run from the Punisher War Journal. So I was real excited about that. But then, for my son, he, big We Live fan. I was glad that these guys were the Miranda brothers were very nice, very approachable, very positive. They weren't jerks or anything like that. So they interacted with him. They talked to him, they took a picture with him. and then they signed his books, and their prices were very, very affordable. And so I was just really, really pleased about that, because sometimes some of these artists can be they can be whatever. So so here he is with the Miranda brothers. So we got that picture of them. So he was real happy about that.
That's
so
awesome picture.
So those are my favorite interactions. But let's see. We should. Yes, Jason D. I was very excited about it, because to have both of those guys there, it was awesome. So hey, but let's go ahead and get this giveaway done. I see James Willie. I see you jumped in. I'm going to go ahead and add you to the list. Anybody else, you can still type in. There's still just a couple seconds to get in, and I can add you on this giveaway. Let's see. I'm about to do the inline. Yeah, we tried to get Paul to log in, but he wanted to take the night off, and he deserves it, because he did a really good job while I was out handling things. Okay, so we got 15 folks that are entered to win, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that screen up. Oh wait, for Pete Sake and Spider Girl. Okay, let me get you guys in here. Let's see. Oh wait, Spider Girl, you're already in here. And okay, for Pete Sake, I'm going to add you. Okay. All right. All right, Paul. No, he's not. Don't listen to Paul in the chat if he starts saying he's fired again. All right, so here we go. Gonna start it in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. All right, here we go. I don't have the cool background music like they do on the Strictly channel, but let's see. I'm real excited about who's gonna. Oh, Flynn Games kind of came ahead for a little bit. Remember, the winner for this is getting this copy of Primos #1. This is the free comic book day edition that includes both the English and Spanish printing.
Jason D looks like he may win. Or is it Andrew?
Somebody's going to come from behind.
General Jedi.
Oh my, Kip D Cage Fighter. What? All right. Well, hey, congratulations to Kip D Cage Fighter. Kip, I had just seen your notification come in just from the past, I think, week or two. So Kip D is a relatively new subscriber. Congratulations. I'm glad that you won tonight. But you make sure and shoot me a message with your shipping information. I know our first winner of the night, Stephen Hull, I did already get your information. I saw the email come through a little bit ago, so thank you for doing that. But Kip D, you can hit me up on Instagram. It's at Carlos Collects Comics, or you can send me an email at carloscollectscomics@gmail.com, and that will get us connected, so I can get your shipping info and get you your free book. All right, and thanks, Paul, for reminding us. Everybody, make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Helps people find the channel, helps them know that we are live. Thank you to the 20 plus people that have plugged in tonight and been with us for this discussion. I wish we had a little bit more time, because there's a lot of good stuff going on, but I'm going to give these guys each a chance to say bye. And then we're going to, I don't know, I read comics. I just might do that and surprise everybody. All right, but hey, let's go to Jen. Let you give a quick good night to everybody, and then we're going to move it along to Michael and back to me.
Okay, so guys, it was great having me here today with Carlos's channel. It's my second appearance, it seems, on here. So I always seem to enjoy his company. He's a great guy, good person. So if you guys want to know more about this con stuff and all the things that we did, I do have my Instagram right here. So you can always get me on the Future Batman. And if you hit this area right here, there's actually the Fan Expo that I actually made. If you hit that, it'll tell you right there all the things that I did, all the people that I've met, everything on there. So I had the press pass, so I did all that in there. But it was really great talking about the Fan Expo with you guys. So, and just with everybody here on the chat. So much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Awesome. We're going to move right along to Mr. Michael Presas.
Yeah, the same thing with me. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm slow on uploading pictures, and I have some from last year that I haven't even uploaded yet. But I still show like when I get the my packages or whatever. I start posting pictures real slowly. But same thing. You can ask me or a lot of the things that we discuss. There's still so many different things to go about it. You just got to really go about with your gut and what you want to do. Just because you have an opportunity or chance to group together, I mean, it just depends. Um, it's better to go with friends. It's better, you got each other's back. Uh, it's just like going to any other place. One person might try to pickpocket you. You got your friend behind you that's watching. That's like anywhere. It doesn't have to be a con, but specifically talking about cons and conventions, you might even have like say like me and Jen's done this a lot. We'll split off, and if a writer that we know the other guy's looking for, we'll tell each other, hey, when he shows up, I'm gonna go get this stuff signed at the whole other side of the building. Let me know when he shows up since you're not going to that side. And that's what we used to do. We used to text each other, hey, he showed up. Okay, I'm almost done. Or, you can do stuff like that. And if you go with more people, the better, because you can text each other, hey, this guy's line is down. You want to show up? I'll hold your spot. You jump in and I'll leave. It just, that's how things get done. 3 days seems like a lot, but it really isn't. Especially when you got some of them that go out to eat, or you might go out to eat. You got so many different things, bathroom breaks, their bathroom breaks, yours, whatever. And that's what we used to do, is just text each other, and we said, hey, uh, this guy said he's about to go, so you need to come over, drop what you're doing, and decide to come over or not.
Yeah.
And that's what we used to do. So that's
Very
another
cool.
thing that helps out. It's not just about budgeting, but it's helping each other out and trying to figure out like, what's more important at the time. Friday, try to get a lot of the stuff out the way. So Saturday you have less stuff, and Sunday the least. But like some people like Jim Lee was there one day, and just say like I wanted to get there with Carlos. He'll tell me, hey, he said he's about to leave, or they just cut it off. You better get over here.
Yeah.
Then I would have to say, hey, I got to drop what I'm doing. I got to go.
Those are good words. Yeah, I think that if doing it over again or doing it again next year, I definitely would want to try to have a larger network because I think yeah, that's the way because there was a lot of times when I was along the artist alley, but I didn't see you guys, and I could have been messaging y'all and saying, hey, this person's here. All right, cool. Okay, Kip D, thanks for sending it along. We'll get it. Yeah, so it was a good con, highly recommended, especially if you're in this region. It's definitely a lot of bang for your buck. And these guys, I like both of the budgeting tips, especially Jen, how he was breaking it down. It's definitely something you want to be budgeting for well in advance. And so I know it was like for me, especially, I didn't spend anywhere near what these guys did. I actually left with cash in my wallet, because I opted to not get a couple of signatures that I had initially planned on doing. So, hey, thanks to everybody who was here tonight to hang out with you. It was good to be back with you. I've missed you guys, and I've missed being here on the giveaway show. for the past month and a half. But the sabbatical was much needed, and it was well worth taking the time away for the long haul. And I definitely want to continue this channel for quite some time. As I reminded you a couple times during the course of the show tonight, we do have our 850 subscriber giveaway that is coming up. The entry is gonna start tonight or first thing in the morning, and then you can enter to win on the video, and then next Wednesday night during the regularly scheduled giveaway show at 10 p.m. Central, we'll be giving away the Something is Killing the Children slab plus other books. And you never know what other kind of books we might throw in. There are always cool extras that are just for the folks who've subscribed and followed all the instructions in the video, in the entry video. So thanks for watching tonight. It's been a lot of fun to hang out with these guys and to debrief after Fan Expo Dallas. Look for our coverage of Comic Palooza. I'm looking forward to that's going to be coming up next month, and a whole lot of fun. That's a Greater Houston area convention, and I'll be doing a little bit of coverage for that. Not quite as extensive as Fan Expo Dallas, but I will be doing some coverage of that convention as well. So you guys make sure and tune in. Thanks so much again for being here, and it has been a whole lot of fun for us to hang out with you, and yeah, just enjoy this time. So y'all take care, have a good night, and we will see you next time. Take care.